Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we're starting a playthrough for a game called Cradle. Now, I'm going through games that are single word simplistic titles. Before this, I played a game called Echo. Before that, I played a game called Control. A while ago, I played a game called Contrast. There's quite a few C words in particular that are used in games titles. This is, for the lack of a better definition, a point and click adventure in a 3D environment. I think at least it starts off that way. It might be a little bit closer to like Myst in that that's kind of an adventure game. Um, Let's see, we could probably turn up the field of view. I noticed that a considerable number of things were not turned up. Like, music was all the way down, so I just had to turn it up. Quality here is all the way down, resolution's all the way down. Now, the resolution on my high DPI settings might actually be wrong here. It didn't start in full sync. I don't think this game company particularly is likely to make another game. This is probably another indie game that just came out. There's not a lot here. You can't get subtitles. It does claim to have controller support, but I've also heard problems about that, so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if this game actually needs to be played with a controller. I think the high DPI settings also might be affecting things, but I'm just gonna roll with it and we're just gonna jump in the game. Would you like to take the tutorial? Sure. We'll take the tutorial. And that was with the mouse. The controller did not work on the menu. We'll see if the controller works in the main game. Now, Echo did not even install correctly. So, after a 5-minute cutscene, the game just crashed. Okay, movement. WASD to move around. Nope. I will use a controller instead. Hold shift. Press space to jump. I'm already noticing that this seems to have a significant lack of dead zone on the controller. Because it's just like falling downward. Like a 0 dead zone on an Xbox One controller, which has its own like dead zone settings and such. How far could one walk in this area? Not that far. You can get in the bushes and that's about it. So this controller is going to be a problem, as it is. So we'll see if we can either turn off mouse sensitivity all the way to 0.1 and see if that affects the controller, or if this is a case of the mouse actually needs to be in the main area. No, I don't think this is gonna work too well. Well, we'll give it a try. Alright. Now, let's see. Reading. Certain objects contain text. To read the text in form, stand, walk up, and left click on the item. Okay. Alright. Yeah, this controller's not gonna work. Okay, I don't think this is particularly a game that is gonna be too tough to play with a mouse and keyboard anyways. So, let's see if we can press something on the keyboard and see if we can get this working. Escape, come back to this, turn the mouse sensitivity back to 0.5 so it didn't even save that. Let's see. Having it 1.0 to 2.0, I guess 1.0 is what you'd want. What's interesting about this game, I would say more than anything, is that I may just have to unplug my controller here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. That's weird. I literally had to unplug my Xbox One controller. Never had to do that before. So read I is read text. Parentheses is pick up or put down an object. Cite is use an object on another. Dialogue cloud is speak with a character. Alright, fair enough. Action, left click to open on the gate to open it. Alright. So this is probably things we could have figured out without it. Pick up certain objects can be picked up. Left click on an object. So, alright. Use the inventory to carry items with you. Press E while holding in that holding the cube. Press E again to remove the item from your inventory. Okay. So we could just pick up a bunch of these and right click to force a throw. Right. And it seems to me you can use certain items while holding on the mouse. A mouse over item B and left click it. Add the missing parts to the arrangement of cubes. So our inventory is now full. I believe this red is the piece that should go here. Clue, you may occasionally read throughout the game, press tab to receive a clue. Dream, the story begins here. While sleeping, you see a strange and troubling dream. Follow the instructions to wake up. Go forward. Go toward the light. So, every game I've been playing recently in this series of games, single word titled games, has been a third person perspective game. Maybe Contrast wasn't. But I think it was, yeah. So we've got a machine here. Let's go and press a button, click on the screen. Am I supposed to be doing something else? Oh, I'm moving a scanner around, okay. Oh, so it's almost like a hidden object game. In the sense that you're trying to scan things. And then I left clicked. And then that, I think, will start the game for real. Yeah. I think maybe this game came from a Polish developer. And oddly, like, the 19 reviews for this game in the last 30 days on Steam, as of this recording, are mostly negative, but it's very positive overall. So, maybe there was a bit of an abandonment here. Hopefully this isn't one of these games that doesn't have an ending, or leaves off on a cliffhanger. I imagine it's kind of just randomness. This is part of the problem of something not becoming a niche indie hit and instead a game just being alright but not that good. It's really hard to justify purchasing a game like this, I would imagine, during a Steam summer sale, because you wouldn't have really heard of it, and if the title, description, or thumbnail doesn't catch your attention, I don't think anything will. And certainly you'll probably find very few video game critics going back and covering odd, obscure, old games. That's pretty much just my deal. It does look a little Myst-like. And I do believe this came out before the game Abduction, which Cyan, the creators of Myst, it's my mate. I think we need some smoothing here. So let's see if we need to turn up the sensitivity some more. Honestly, having a max sensitivity is probably fine. Yeah, that's about as good. And this is not terrible. It's herky-jerky, though. So. Man, I wish that was in the center of the screen, and I wish it was a little bit bigger. I say this anytime I run into text. I'm looking at a computer screen, well, TV screen connected to my computer from 10 feet away on the wall. So it's a big TV, but it's not that big, and that's why I have high DPI settings usually enabled for Windows apps. Okay. I think it says Tabitha or Tabitha. I got fat and now I smell bad. Turn off your nose and don't look at me. I didn't say goodbye to Onguts. I waited for him all day, but he didn't return. Please feed him and change him. At least he gets sick. Follow the recipe. Heat the red pot. Add a glass of water. Add a few cut plum olive fruits. There are plenty of them by the lake. Add dried root. Don't forget to grind it. Add salt to the water. And add salt and the water will turn orange. Return the salt to its place, right of the pepper, or as Grandpa Botjin instructed. Cook until it's done. On pots will show up as soon as he smells the food. You can sell all the stuff if you like, and toss the body in the river. I won't be coming back. Now as I understand it, this is a sci-fi story, and Inbish is I think what her name is. A sci-fi story where people eventually start abandoning their bodies for robot bodies, which I think there's one in the next room, or there's one over there in particular. Man. Is there some kind of smoothing here we could do? Or, like, if I turn the sensitivity all the way down, I don't think that fixes what I'm wanting, because then that just means there's going to be a lot of really, really slow movements, and thank goodness that the menus are not affected at all by that. Alright. It could be that I have the anti-aliasing turned too high, and it could be also that the field of view might be better off turned higher. Let's see. A field of view would just mean that I would see more and things would effectively be smaller. So I don't think a good reason why I'd want to do that. So here's like a radio that connects to a kind of internet. Postcard with a view of the city sign below. Geneva is happy to receive guests with any quotients. I think that's what that last word was. Mobile transfer instruction manual. I don't think we want to do that yet. Here you can see there's items we can pick up, and can we put them down anywhere? Yes. Chest has been shut for many years. I won't open the upper chest as too much. I think a lot of this is just kind of garbage. A lot of toys that you can fiddle with. I don't know the password. You've got a tablet. So it's almost like a hidden object game in a 3D environment, and that's what I've always wondered and see if that could actually work. But there's a lot of text here, and until we kind of know what we're doing, I'm not sure that there's a great reason to start moving things all around. The resolution on a lot of this stuff is like, there's no zoom in button, or is there? Man, I'm going back to the menu a lot, but let's see. Clue, jump forward, back, interact. Inventory is E. Run would be shift. But no zoom in. Okay. So inventory E just is down here in the corner. Honestly, this probably would be a game that would be better off not being played in 1080p. So guess we can hold on to a knife just in case that becomes something of importance. But you can see how this is dirty. It's kind of an example of an end of a society, like where, see, Friday, July 24th, Saturday, July 25th. Where computers and an obsession, I think, with physical appearance and the ability to get away from a human body becomes more interesting. That's just a radio. I want the radio to play too long in case there's, you know, YouTube copyright claims. There's all kinds of things written. There are all kinds of numbers. And we can remove the head on this robot body. And we can, I think, plug in a cartridge, but apparently I don't have a cartridge. One assumes that that's something we're gonna have to find. This really is going to be one of those games that if you wanted to read everything you could, but I don't think that's a wise move. Because I really don't want this game to go on forever. And yeah, you can clip through anything like that. So flower number 17, these might just be like images of flowers as a plant instead of anything important. Flower number 20. Hmm. Bunch of clothes stacked in one tight cube. This does look like a game set in Mongolia, but that doesn't inherently mean it was made by a Mongolian team or company. Of course. Doesn't mean it wasn't either. So take a flashlight. That should prove to be rather useful. We can't pick up this axe. We can take the teapot. Oh, I can pick up the teapot, but I can't do anything with it. We can take that. So let's go out the front door and look around. So much like Myst, really wish I wasn't using a controller, a mouse at all, because it really is herky jerky. Let's, yeah, we've got like a major problem there. Let's see if we can get rid of anti-aliasing down to like 2x. That won't really change the graphics too much. Hopefully that didn't mess up the recording too much. Okay, it may have messed up the recording more than I thought. Okay, well then I'll be right. Wait, nope, it took it a while. Let me just make sure the recording software is still working. Yeah. Now, why is the anti-aliasing increasing the herky-jerkiness even more with it turned down? Okay, I think that fixed it. It took a sweet time to process through everything. So it's kind of a sci-fi world, but mostly, yeah, this kind of does look like Mongolia from the small one instance I've seen of Mongolia. Yeah, there's a few places, and yeah, we don't know what's really going on or what we're really supposed to do. Still having some herky-jerkiness. I don't know. I guess I can turn anti-aliasing all the way down, but frankly, this just feels like it's just not really a stable system. Now, I know this was for consoles too. Interesting. I would have thought that would have been a whole different level, but seems like I can just go without any problem. I just walked right up. The stand is mobile. There must be something attached to it. So there's a way to raise an antenna. And there's a satellite dish over there. No oof sound when you jump. I could run and see if we could make make that jump. Alright, so shift, WASD, jump. Barely missed it. I don't really see anything here that needs, like, gives me an indication that it needs to be changed. We have a shovel. We have here what was, it looks like the remnants of a one-time garden. Seems like I'm collecting batteries. Let's run. Yeah, I think anti-aliasing's got to go down, and maybe this game is just so poorly programmed, even textures need to go down. That's weird. Like, I'm playing this on a brand new video card, a 2080 RTX card. There's nothing here that would justify. The red fruit on the tree looks edible. I'll find something. So we had seen that we needed to collect that red fruit as part of the instructions. But apparently I need something to knock it down. Let's see. Yeah, and if you can't use an object on an object, I probably need like a slingshot. So, an interesting question to ask is, in someone's first playthrough of the game Myst, which it would be, I think, a fair comparison to this, that Myst being a very, very older game, how long was it until you got a small indication, at least, of what you're supposed to be doing? Because I've been given a very, very small indication. Like, I'm supposed to be following this instructions. So heat the red pot. Do we have a red pot that I see, or do they mean when they say red pot this? Need paper and some logs. Okay, well, then in our inventory we did have paper. So we've got some paper in there. And putting that up in the wrong place doesn't seem like it does anything. Yeah, this might turn into too much of a hidden object game. The thought I always had, if you were going to make a 3D hidden object game, would be that it would have to be some kind of zone of influence where you would walk out of a bubble, and when you walked out of that bubble, the room would reset. Otherwise, you're going to run into a scenario where there's just way too much going on. Let's see. Seems like the power switches are all working. Let's see. Citizens of medium and high quotients By replacing your body, you give the whole world hope to fill out the ranks of humanity's rescuers. Contact your local mirror transfer center. So, perhaps this is a case, a whole bunch of pills there, where the world is running out of resources, so they're heavily encouraging people to get rid of their bodies. Which, yeah, would make sense. But you kind of need this character talking to you. And there's a big red button. Let's press that. 93. And I think that's full motion video eyes are played here, but maybe not. Alright, so 93 does nothing. So do we put this? It can't be used. So this is, I guess, what a robot's brain or human's brain looks like. Have we seen other things that look like that? Not really. Like, doesn't work. Doesn't work. So we could see if maybe this works with something else. This really looks like a battery. That's all it looks like. So we're kind of just wandering. And that axe would be great. Like it really seems like the axe would be useful. Door's jammed. Door's still jammed. I suspect that we may find that there's actually less things inside than it would seem at first look. Inside other things. Let's see. So we need a considerable amount of parts for a transfer. We may be very quickly going towards a hint here. Less brute force is the answer. No, it doesn't work. So I need a key. You definitely open the door to a whole bunch of questions religiously if people are abandoning their bodies. We'll see how far the story gets with that. So are human minds just living as flowers? Is that what I'm supposed to take from this? Here, what do we have this? This is a device that does not plug into that, so maybe it works with this. Nope. You kind of need a device like this to prove itself like more useful. Like if it was to just highlight where it's supposed to go and where you're supposed to use it, give you an arrow pointing in a direction. Well, Alright, let's hit tab and see. On Naga's breakfast, there's no one around to help you remember what happened. Prepare breakfast for a Naga. Put the rest. Excuse me. Yeah, put the red pot on the furnace. I may have to drag everything out of here. I think we've got the anti-aliasing down low enough. I may just turn anti-aliasing off altogether. But let's see. Let's take a quick run and see how herky-jerky that would be. While I'm running, it seems like the game's engine, which is probably not that good, has figured it out. So yeah, I think we're in a good position. I wanted to do just 30-minute episodes, but frankly, at this point, I don't think that's gonna work. So instead, I'm gonna drink some water and maybe mute myself and cough some more. Yeah, wearing out my voice. I put the red pot on the furnace. Or in the furnace. No. That's clearly not the red pot. And so, until we find the red pot, we're kind of doomed. I mean, that's there, but that's not a red pot. All the dishes seem to... Ah, here's a red pot. I was thinking of something different. There we go, that worked. So we'll just add a glass of water. Which we have water, we just need a glass now. Alright, here's a glass. And we'll just... I can't use it here. Alright, fine. Then we'll run down to the lake and see if that works. There may not be too much of a game here, or it might be that what this introductory experience is different than well, I'm in the water. I don't have a glass of water. So I guess maybe there's another source of water somewhere around in this area, or maybe I just needed to turn on the faucet and then use the glass on it. This area does a good job of pointing you back to where you're supposed to go. Because this little yurt hut doesn't really do that. Alright, let's turn that on. Take this. Now use it. Oh. It did work. Alright. New task added. What are the tasks? Heat the fumes with a few wooden logs and a sheet of paper. Alright, so honestly, if Mist had told me to even do such a simplistic action, there is definitely there would have been a lot less wandering the first time I played it. And certainly that was a case where a certain group of people who tried to play Myst felt incredibly upset with the lack of guidance that the game provided. I think by the time you got to Myst 3, the game did a pretty decent job about telling you what to do. At least giving you a general idea of where you're going and what you're doing. Unless I was just gonna burn this chair. That's not gonna work. So I've gotta find logs, but this obvious... Let's see. I'm just hitting buttons just to see if maybe there's a crouch button somewhere. Oddly, the number pads, the number keys work. Right. Here's a piece of wood. Here's a tree. Here's a shovel. Here's another battery. Honestly, I should probably just put all the batteries down, and then if we need them later, we'll have them. I don't think I'm supposed to go that direction. In fact, I'm heavily suspicious that if I were to go that direction, I would just hit a barrier, some kind of door or something. There is something over here. Let's see. So, is that perhaps the person who left their body? They were buried? See, the problem here is you almost have a Zelda Breath of the Wild experience here where it feels like you could probably run to all these areas, but I suspect you actually can't. I heavily suspect that I would run into infinite walls or something like that. Let's go back and read the instructions and see if we can figure out something more. Let's see. Add a few plum-full fruits. There are plenty of them by the lake. Add dried root. Don't forget to grind it. Add some salt and water. The water will turn orange. We don't even really know where the salt is. This totally feels like this should work. And that's totally not gonna work. Why are there other things? Are there other things I can click on and not the thing that I want to click on, which is the axe? Right, the salt. Citric acid. This is slightly intriguing, but not this intriguing, frankly. I could see why people would not be super enthralled with all of these things. There's like several. Is one of these tins supposed to be salt? Am I supposed to figure out which one is salt? I'm gonna say that was not salt. There we go. We're gonna put that on the floor and hope that I didn't ruin the recipe. But where do we get the wood? Today is the 25th year anniversary of something. Okay. Now, problem with this game is it's going to be, I think, more reading than I really thought I was going to end up doing. On button is jammed, I can't press it. Let's see. Alright, well, the on button is jammed. Let's try and stab it with a knife. I'm just gonna hold on to the knife. You never know when a knife will come in handy. Logs of wood. We have a knife, I guess. That's something we could try and use. You don't have like a control action. Am I still holding on to that, or did I drop it? I dropped it. Interesting. Like, you don't swing it or anything when you click an item, so unless there's an interaction pop-up, you're still stuck with what you've got. I was thinking, could this be what I need to burn? I mean, it is the closest thing I guess I have to a log of wood. And it would be a little crazy to keep on going in these directions. I'm getting like a sound effect that Sounds a bit ominous. I guess we might as well experiment here and just see how far we can go. Well, it looks like you can go quite far. I guess that's not super surprising considering how it's just a empty field. There's really no reason why it should stop you. Interesting. Again, knocked into something else. Of course, it's just going to be a journey to run back. There we had a bit of a hitch. Again, when it's loading in new textures and such. Yeah, I think at a certain point I'm just gonna hit a invisible wall. You can see as you're getting to the edges here, it looks more and more like a painting and less like it's an actual accessible area. It's just a rock there. Get some unique looking rocks. So, nice birds, nice sky, nice sun. And with the shift in running, it's still quite a far distance. Now one assumes that the game is not cheating and just procedurally generating more and more planes, but it could be. Yeah. There we go. Here we hit. I'm gonna put this in my inventory. You can see as you're getting further and further away, it gets darker and darker, and it's going to make you pass out. And did I just find the game over at that point? Was that, or is that an actual proper ending? There's a feather here. Alright, so now I have to make the far journey all the way back to where we started. I think it's pretty obvious that they don't want me walking anywhere. And this may be a weird experience, certainly. It may just be a lot of wandering around and using hints and clues, because yeah, that yurt in particular is just full of stuff, and we need all that stuff. We need to find the right stuff amongst all that stuff, and then we'll also need to figure out what our next goal is after feeding that character. Got some nice water effects and nice reflections, considering this is probably an indie game dev. Honestly, I don't even think turning down anti-aliasing would solve what's the hitches I've seen going forward. It seems like it is simply a matter of texture or level data loading in slowly, either into video RAM or into just regular computer RAM. So yeah, I don't think that there's much to be done about that. I think that was the tree with the fruits in it. No? I think the yurt is... yurt I think is the right term for it. The hut. Well, I'll just call it a hut. I think it's that direction. This is pretty, but much like the game Echo that I just played, pretty often is added to games in direct opposition of a game running smoothly or having any gameplay mechanic in it. And that's really what I see here is so far a big empty Mongolian field, but no detailed or descriptive challenge. Would have been nicer if they had just left some of this. Like, man, none of these sticks are interactable. Here we are. So the first quest I think is to stay within the circle area, and it probably would have been better if they had said to stay within this circle area for the first quest and force me, even if the character was just saying I shouldn't wander too far until I know what's going on, having us go down to the river and try to get the fruits, which clearly I don't understand how to do that yet. Confuses the issue. This area is way more populated with items. Really, there should be 2 or 3 huts with half as 2 or 3 times as few items in here. So yeah, not a lot of progress for nearly an hour of gameplay, but that's where I'm going to end this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.